Hey, welcome back to today's video. So today we're going to be talking about the LacTecK Baby Motion Flange. This is their newest 18mm flange. They did send this to me to try out, which I would like to thank LacTecK. Thank you so much. So I'm here today to talk a little bit about it, and I thought that I would sit in front of the tree because it's a really fun little backdrop. So I'm just going to go over a couple of points about the new sizing, and there is kind of like a slightly new design to it, and then I'm also going to give my personal thoughts on the flange and also give you price points. And I'm not really sure when they're going to be releasing the 18mm, but by the time I'm editing this, if I have new information, I'll put it in the description. So the really good thing about the new kind of design of the LacTecK is that they made this area here longer, so it can fit into the connector a lot easier. Where before a lot of people were having trouble where it would kind of like peel out like that, but it's a lot harder to do that now because they made this longer. So this is just kind of a general Medela connector, and they're all like the same size. So I also have a freestyle connector, and it fits in fine. The size of it is perfect, and it has enough grip where it does fit really well in there. They didn't change the actual size of this part of the flange, so that's just kind of something to note. I know a lot of people were saying that it was kind of hard to get it to stay on their nipple because this like wasn't quite big enough. I didn't really have too much of an issue with that, but I'm like not very big chested, but I could see how somebody who is bigger chested would have a problem with that. But a really good way to keep it kind of around your nipple is to bend this back and then have it kind of suction to your body like that. So you would just like bend it like this and suction it. It would kind of suction in there. I do feel like the new design of a longer neck is so much more helpful, and I'm really glad that they did that. They also made this little viewfinder window a lot more see-through, so now you can see your nipple and make sure that it's centered there into the flange, which I think was really helpful because the first time that I tried these, I couldn't see my nipple, and so my nipple was crooked, and so I ended up getting like a cut actually from it. So I think that also had to do with that I didn't have the right size, and the 18mm is much better sizing for me. I do feel like I could go down to even like a 16 or a 15mm, so I am hoping that they come out with an even smaller size because it's just really helpful to have like a full range of sizes. I feel like they totally will come out with a smaller size. You can see through here a lot easier. As you can see, like this is kind of, I don't know if the camera can pick it up really well, but you can see a lot easier, and the viewfinder is supposed to be sitting on the top so that you can see. As for like the actual motion part, like I guess when you pump it should kind of do this. I noticed that a little bit while I was pumping, but really not that much. But it is a very comfortable flange to pump with. I did use coconut oil with it, and I felt like that was even more comfortable for me. They did say that you don't have to use coconut oil because it kind of has this like frosted, almost a little bit grippy of plastic, or silicone, but I don't know, I just like needed to use coconut oil just for like peace of mind. I haven't tried it yet without it. I feel like it would probably be fine, but just for my own like personal self, I really like using coconut oil, and it's really nice that you do have that option with these. And like overall, I really did like my experience with the LacTecK 18mm. I really think I had a much better experience than I did with the 24 or the 21mm because of the sizing. I do wish that they had like a 15mm, because I would definitely try that and see if that is even more comfortable, but this is definitely a lot more comfortable than like the original kind of Medela hard shell connectors. This is a Maymom connector, and this is a 17 millimeter. I don't know if you can really tell. So this is like a little bit, this is like a lot closer to my size than the 18, but I can still use this and it's fine. But as for kind of using it consistently, I might notice a little bit more discomfort. It's hard to kind of tell because I haven't used it a lot, but I've used it a couple times and I do really, really like it. And the only thing is that I don't feel like it's the best option for somebody who has elastic nipples. So, and I definitely have that. So with the Pump and Pal ones, they are kind of bent like this. So it's really nice to have that bent, that kind of like bendingness, and then you don't have the elastic nipple. So I feel like if you don't have elastic nipples and you need a smaller size in your LacTecK, definitely try the 18 millimeter. I think it'd be really, really cool if LacTecK made kind of an option. So they made something like this for just like people who don't have elastic nipples, and then maybe they came up with some different design for people who do, like maybe just give it a little bit of a tilt. Who knows? I don't know. Come up with another design, because elastic nipples are definitely something that a lot of us pumpers can struggle with. And for me, I didn't notice it as much with the LacTecK Motion Flange than I do with the regular Medela Flange. I notice the elastic nipples will be really, really bad with these. Like I'll be pumping and at the end of my session, my nipples like all the way over here, like banging up against the back, and that becomes like super, super painful. With these, I didn't notice that because they do have a little bit more of a grip here, which is really helpful. But I feel like if I had used this a lot every day for like consecutive amount of days, I feel like I would be getting a lot of pulling, because it still is like pulling you straight instead of kind of pulling you at an angle, if that makes sense. As for the price point, this flange, the third generation flange, $24.99. And that is just for one pair. And I feel like that's pretty standard. The Medela flanges are around there. This is a Maymom one, and I think theirs is a little bit cheaper, but that's not really too bad. I feel like it's really good quality silicone. I put it in my Wubby sterilizer and noticed no issues. It's really lightweight. I do think that maybe if they had made this part of the flange a little bit bigger, that would have been a little bit more helpful, because it could have just get your nipple to be more centered in there. And for people who just are bigger chested, I feel like that could be really helpful as well. But I had no problem with it with my pump strap, and it performed completely fine with my pump. So I just want to thank LacTecK so much for sending this to me, and it was really great reviewing it for you guys. And I had a lot of fun also reviewing the Sleepy Mommy adapter as well. They seem like a really good company, and they reached out to me on Instagram, and I'll have all their information linked down below. And if you're kind of wondering which one you should go, if you are like, you know, more in the traditional Medela flanges, I would definitely try it. I think it's a really good option for a lot of people out there. I think it's really great that they're doing smaller sizes. I bet they'll do even smaller in the future, and hopefully I can get my hands on something that's a little bit smaller, so then it's the exact perfect fit. But like I said, I was able to make the 18 millimeter work. Thank you again, LacTecK. And if there's any other kind of products that you guys want me to review, please comment them below. I do have a couple of pump videos coming out soon, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next.